Why it's so important to speak clearly. Now, this is a video idea I got from a channel called Jimmy Talks, where he basically just said how important it is to speak clearly. And I just wanted to emphasize that point that it is really important when you speak clearly, but not just in a business sense, even in a dates, even with friends, even with family. When you articulate yourself well and actually speak clearly and actually have a goal of what you want to talk about, you can actually come across really well. And it actually works even on dates. If you speak to a girl and you said, maybe I'll come pick you up at 7 p.m. and then we can I don't mind, it's up to you, and then maybe we can go for like a dessert, but only if you like a dessert, compared to saying I'll be at your house at 7 p.m. to pick you up, we're going to go bowling and then we're going to go get a dessert. And that's actually how my first date went with my girlfriend. But my point is, by being direct and actually having a clear goal in mind before speaking will actually benefit your life in multiple ways. Even when it comes to job interview, if a job interview asks you a question like why should we hire you, instead of saying I'm a hard worker, you could say, well, the reason you should hire me is that I'll get the job done on time. By saying, you can sometimes repeat the question instead of saying if they ask you something, and you can just repeat the last thing that they said. So for example, if someone says, what's your favorite meal, instead of saying my favorite meal is, you could say, my favorite meal, let me think about that for a second, I actually really enjoy lasagna. You see, by speaking like that and actually coming across and articulating your words properly can make you sound way more professional. My friend Jordan actually said that I'm really good at articulating myself and speaking with higher vocabulary. And sometimes just by using different vocabulary can actually make yourself sound a lot smarter. Now, it's good for business, it's good for work, it's good for relations, it's good for actually traveling as well, because sometimes when you go to foreign countries, they might not understand your English too well. So if you're then speaking with slang on top of that, it will make it harder to actually communicate your point. So sometimes when you want to communicate your point with people, it's actually good to actually emphasize certain words or slow down your speaking, and you can speak at slower rates. By speaking at slower rates, it can make a lot more people understand you. Your voice is one of the first tools people hear when you're on the phone, when you're on a video call, when you're in person. By the way that you speak to people can actually either dominate a conversation, can make you look shy, can make you look overly confident, can make you look arrogant, can make you look like you're just a funny comedy kind of guy, depending on your actual tone of speaking. It's the same reason why comedians normally use higher pitched voices, or comedians can change their tone of voice to make the audience laugh. Just by your voice and your tone and how you speak and communicate with people can make you look more intellectual, can make you look more sophisticated, can make you look more confident, and you can actually look like you know what you're talking about. Even if you don't know what you're talking about, sometimes by saying, well, did you know 40% of people have this? Or did you know more people die from diabetes than smoking? By just sounding professional on a stage or a setting, if you look at TED Talks or you watch podcasts or you watch newsreaders, they look professional because as they speak to the camera and as they're talking, they articulating their words and their vocabulary very well. And now you need to learn to do the same thing. Now, there's nothing wrong with using slang with your friends or using slang with your girlfriend or slang with people. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But when it comes to standing in front of an audience, especially as a professor or a teacher or a lecturer, or you're in a business meeting or you're in a restaurant with people that you don't know, by speaking clearly to the waiter, like saying thank you, please, I appreciate that, thank you for this, I really like that you did this, complimenting people can actually make people remember you more. And actually by using compliments towards people that are actually interesting, not just saying to a girl, oh, you look pretty, but actually saying, oh, I like your music taste, what kind of artists do you normally listen to? Things like that can actually elevate your conversations with people around you. It's the same, like I said, if you've got friends who are really into football, instead of saying, oh, I like Chelsea or Manchester United, you can name specific footballers or specific events or what you liked about going to a show or something that you enjoyed in the day, and actually being positive around you. And as you be more positive around you, people will become more positive around you. And when you speak clearly and people can understand what you're saying, then you can actually have deeper intellectual conversations with different types of people. So this is just a video on why it's important to speak clearly, why it's important to actually come across clear when you're speaking with your vocabulary. But yeah, anyways, this was just a video that I made on just speaking clearly and actually taking the time to think about what you're saying before you say it. Sometimes we can be in a rush to say so many things, and there's so much world distractions in the world at the moment of distracting people with TV, news, TikTok, information, and you can get so distracted with things. And especially when it comes to Twitch and it comes to TikTok and all these kinds of words and all these like new words that are coming out, when speaking clearly, professionally can actually elevate you onto a higher level. And I think that it's really good, adequate to have, especially for traveling, especially for meeting new types of people, especially when booking hotels, when booking events, when you're going to dine out or whatever you're trying to do in life. When you speak clearly and confidently and actually have an aura about you, it will elevate your life and you'll see how people treat you. And it's actually a really good skill to have. But my name's Krish. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will link the original video I got the idea from in the description. But yeah, anyways, hope you enjoyed this one.